Good evening and welcome to Abu Dhabi for the Formula One season finale. Now, after 15 races around the globe, it all comes down to this one race. It's Bottas versus Gasly. It's Mercedes versus Aussie Villain Racing. There can only be one winner, so let's find out who that's going to be. It's hot. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Aussie Villain Racing. It is the final round of Season 3 in Abu Dhabi and we have a very potentially historic episode coming up here. We are 23 points ahead of Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship and Gasly is 10 points ahead of Bottas, a little bit more even ahead of Norris, who I think mathematically could still win the title, though I would very much like to get myself third in this Drivers' Championship as well. So it is literally all to play for, and as long as Mercedes don't score 23 more points than us, we will be Constructors' Champions, which is magnificent. Now, if we go back and sort of start off in the proper space here, we can see we do have a chassis department event to go to. Now, this is an initiative to improve working morale by reducing working hours. Now, given that we have R&D points to burn, I think I will agree to it to get the morale boost. But I don't think we want that to be becoming something that happens all the time. Now, we've got 2 days since last race where we were, of course, 1-2 in the Jeddah Grand Prix. I mean, we've just got to give Gasly every chance, don't we, to go and win this thing. So let's get him that. And if we go and have a look now, we've got 60 million in the bank. I just want to have as much money as possible to re-sign Gasly at the end of this race. I still haven't heard a voice, a dissenting voice, if we don't want to keep Gasly on as teammate next season. I mean, the motivation for me to get rid of him is that he's a little bit too quick for me. But otherwise, I think he's done quite well. R&D, now we know that we've essentially maxed out the car at this point with what we can do. We are the fastest car, hopefully Mercedes don't go and bring another upgrade. And look at it behind us there. It is very close between McLaren, Aston Martin, Ferrari, Red Bull. Looks like they're all in there. Or is that dark green line actually AlphaTauri? It is AlphaTauri. So AlphaTauri potentially are the third fastest car. And you could see it. You've been able to see it on track the last few rounds that they've been getting further and further up the grid. Now, in terms of the power unit, we want the freshest unit we can get. So let's go back to power unit 2 because it's just that few percent less wear. It looks like we might just have to go back to power unit 2 for everything. 27. Oh, we've got a brand new MGUH. Watch it blow up on me now. So we'll put that on energy store. 3 of 350. So we want the 21% one, which is what we currently have on. The turbocharger 41, 51, 34. So let's go with that one. And the controlled electronics 18% is the one that we want, which is already on the car. Oh, wrong button there. Gearbox, it's the gearbox on its final race. It should be fine. It's 54% worn. That should be absolutely not a problem in the world. Corporate side of things, sponsorship is unchanged. The driver contract, Gasly's contract, is up in 7 days. We want to re-sign him. Are we going to be trying to re-sign a world champion though? And is that going to put the price up? That's why we want to have the money in the bank, just to be safe. If we do have a quick sneaky look at the driver market, Ricciardo will always be tempting when you get an all-Australian Aussie Villain Racing lineup, but I don't think, I mean, Gasly potentially is the highest rated driver anyway. I just don't see a particular need to change him unless it gets to the point where his wage is ridiculously high. But I mean, you could argue, even if it is, he's kind of earned it, hasn't he? So we might just need to accept that we're going to have to pay for the best. Now, we haven't spent anything. The finance, the money mountain is continuing to grow. And if we go back to standing season results, we can see them there. Gasly, if he hadn't stuffed up his strategy in Australia, he probably would be world champion right now. That's the unfortunate cold hard face of it for him, but well, he's still in a good position, isn't he? If we go and have a look at trophies. Now, previous seasons at Abu Dhabi. Now, last season, if you remember, I somehow got 6th, and no one knew how, myself as well. We were just somehow able to get 6th. The season before that, we were 18th. So let's hope that we're closer to the 6th side of thing this time. The rivalry with Perez is going very, very nicely. Thank you. We will win that this race. And driver details, still only 2 poles, 259 points, 3 wins, 6 podiums, 4 fastest laps. We've got another one last race, of course. And, well, let's go and sim this final week. I am actually nervous ahead of this one. I don't usually get nervous at the start of this game. Usually it's about when the lights are turning red. But anyway, let's go do this. So the weekend preview with the track map. Now, reminder, it is the old Abu Dhabi, not the one that they raced on this year. As you would expect in the desert, there is not much chance of rain, and we can see the development race there. It looks as though Mercedes have plateaued as well, doesn't it? So, yeah, that is good, though Red Bull may have taken a step forward according to our predictions there. I'm going to go do free practice, and I will see you for a very, very nervy, very, very important qualifying one. Alright, well, we have done free practice, and I'm struggling. I haven't been in the top 10 in any of the sessions. Gasly, thankfully, is around the top, though I wouldn't say he's been dominating as we had been previously, so it might be a case of either other cars have taken a big step forward, or maybe our car just isn't suited as nicely to this track as it has been to a couple of the previous ones. Yeah, I'll be happy to get into out of Q2, and that'll be delighted if I get to the top 10. Part of me thinks I might be better off actually not, finishing 11th, getting a choice of tyre, starting on a medium, and then going to a soft late on and trying to do things that way. But anyway, this is huge. Let's see if we can start in a strong position. All right, here we go, coming around to start our first lap in Q1. Yeah, I mean, it's just struggling to find a setup. The setup we're using is completely different to last year's. And the issue I've had is just because I was so desperately trying to find a setup, even late in FP3, I was trying to do it on worn tyres, which isn't the greatest because obviously you're lacking grip anyway. So I don't really know how this is going to work out. Hoping it's so far, I'm going to say it's not too bad. I hate this section. I can't wait for the next version of the game where that's gone. Yeah, so far I think so good on this lap. Certainly around that first sector anyway, but yeah, we just need to try and score points. If Gasly can score points, then we should be good in terms of the constructors. And obviously Gasly just needs to go and do his own thing when it comes to winning the Drivers' Championship. I think part of the problem in free practice too, as Gasly sticks in a good lap, was I was just getting into a bit of a negative headspace because I couldn't find anything that works, and that all just starts to get a little bit depressing. But I think this is as good as the car has felt through any of the free practice sessions. Now it is set up for qualifying, so it should be as good as the car ever feels, but well, we'll see how we go. Maybe I'll have good race pace, if not qualifying pace. Now there, that's messed up most of the good work we've done through the lap. Yeah, it's nice and early. And a 35. Jesus.
He's in pole position.
Alright, here we go for a second lap. Now, I think I saw a message flash up that Ricardo was out of the session. I wasn't paying full attention. But if that's the case, that is obviously one car out of the way that would put us in trouble of this session. We're already way, way up. How have I done that? Oh, just gone that little bit too deep in there. Thanks, Slapper, not the greatest exit. I mean, we're currently in 11th, so I said a 35 wouldn't be enough. Maybe it will be. But we need to go faster than that if we want to be anywhere near the competitive in this race. But, well, it was the final sector, wasn't it, where I messed up the last one. I keep saying we. It's not you guys' fault. Guilty by association. Alright, let's see if we can... Almost the exact same lap so far. Let's see if we can fix up this last little bit here. Well, we certainly did that. And P11, that's a little better. So it was P11 in the end. Now, when I got back to the pits, I had damaged the under trays. So Gasly, once again, absolutely flying out in front. So I don't know exactly where I've done that, but it's not the first time I've done it. So I'm hitting something I shouldn't be. In terms of who has been eliminated, it is Ricardo, who did indeed go out of the session, and then the usual suspects. So let's go to Q2, and I almost think the best chance I have of a result in this race is if we can get P11 again. So, yeah, well, let's hope we can. All right, now having used 2 sets of tyres in Q1, this is it. This is our only shot at this. So this needs to be a good lap, because what I don't want is to get out of this session and be starting the race on older tyres than necessary, because I'm struggling enough as it is. We're better off just having a free choice of tyres, I think, to start the race. But let's hope that we don't have to worry about that, because we do a good lap here. Don't panic, it's just a corner. Take your time. Don't be scared of it. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I don't think anyway. It feels like the problem with those corners I think I have is that it just feels like it's just impossibly slow, and that there's got to be a faster way to do it, but I don't necessarily think there is. It's on the way in. Back. It wasn't the greatest. I still managed to somehow, despite braking ridiculously early, not quite get the cutback I wanted on that chicane, but anyway. We have an Aston Martin in front of us, I think it is. It is worryingly not getting that much closer to us. That's going to damage the floor. That's going to damage the floor. Oh dear, that's not good. That's costing us time. This is not going to be us out of the session, unfortunately. I wonder if I have damaged the floor, and that's why I had a little bit of problems getting around that corner. Where's this going to put us? P2 for now. Alright, so we can see here that we're currently P12, and I mean, we could in theory go back a little bit further, because Giovinazzi isn't that far behind us, and neither is Esteban Ocon. So we're going to go again. You see everybody in front of us is on a medium, so what I don't want to do here is accidentally put myself in the top 10, but I would like to definitely get myself secured in at least 12th. Alright, here we go. Now, I don't know if you could hear or see, Gus was helping me out here during this session, so I don't think most Formula 1 drivers have a cut in the cockpit with them, so hopefully not having him distracting me might help a little bit, but we're already down a little bit of time here. I mean, this is one of the parts of the track where I just need to... Alright, better exit. We're losing a little bit of time though. No, we may be better through the corner, but not a better exit. I just want P11, that's what I want. I don't want top 10, I just want P11. I've gone too deep on the brakes. But it's worked out okay for us.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
I mean, it's a little bit concerning that all the cars in front of us are on mediums. We've done a purple sector there. How have I done that? Oh, I feel like this is so ragged. But we're that little bit up that should make sure we get P11, assuming that's... Is it Science, I think, is there right now? It doesn't go faster. Oh, we're way up. I might get into the top 10 here. I don't want to do that. Sixth. Shit. We've done it. We've done it. Everybody else went out on softs, and we got P11. So we're out of qualifying. We've lost qualifying to Perez. But honestly, I think... Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and time will tell, I suppose, by the time you get to commenting, the race will have taken place. I think that's the best place for us. So for one last time this season, let's do this.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Tsunoda, Perez, Pierre Gasly and Stroll. Oldtimer, Fernando Alonso. Giovinazzi and George Russell. Verstappen, Lundgaard. Charles Leclerc, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Mick Schumacher. Sainz, they've taken a grid penalty. Schwartzman. Nikita Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Ricciardo, Ocon, Norris and Guan Yu Zhou. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So, less than ideal. Mercedes lock out the front row. I'm trying to frantically do the maths in my head where we need to be if they finish first and second. Like I say, I think the best thing for me to do here if I edit strategy is to start on the medium tire and then go to the soft. I think that makes more sense to me, try and offset myself, because I don't have the out and out pace. So I think that's what I need to do. Well, time will tell, won't it? Time will tell if it's right or not. And it's a, 14 lap race. So let's leave a little bit extra in there just to be safe. And yeah, well, Gasly needs to be 10 points clear of Bottas. We need to be 23, Mercedes need to be 23 points clear of us. It's all to play for. It's the final race of the season. Let's hope we make it past the first corner. Alright, for one last time this season, here we go. It all comes down to this. Can we get a good start? Another long hold. And let's see what sort of start we get. Gasly directly in front of us. It's not a great start, is it? We've got someone up the inside of us there. Can we get through the middle here? We can just kind of follow Gasly through. Oh, bad run off the corner there from Pierre. And, oh, Jesus. Go on, Pierre. We will let him through, but that was a little bit closer than we would have liked. But there we go. We've got instead Alonso coming down the inside of us, but we've been able to see him off. And hopefully now we can not get a massive tank slapper off this corner and just kind of settle in. That's not a bad exit for me. As we jump back on board here now. It looks as though, so we're in 7th, Gasly 6th. Now this would be enough for the constructors, I would think, because we've got a 23-point lead. If Mercedes are first and second, it'll still be close though, wouldn't it? It's a big haul of points for them. Where this might not be enough is if Bottas is winning. I don't think 6th will be enough for Gasly. But we can see there, one Mercedes, so they're first and third. So Bottas is third. So as things stand, Gasly will be World Drivers' Champion, and AVR would just about be Constructors' Champions. I'm not going to try and do maths on the run as we do this, because that's just going to confuse you and embarrass me. So we won't be doing that. But if we can just hold up, where we are, hold off everybody behind us, stay in 7th, we've got a little bit wide there. Let Pierre sort of escape up the road, and well, that sort of guarantees him 6th. And with a 10-point gap, Bottas currently in 3rd. That might just about be enough for us to crown Pierre a driver's champion for the first time, and hopefully the last time, because I'd like to think that this time next season, if we are in Abu Dhabi for the finale or wherever it may be, that I'll be a little bit more competitive. But we're pulling out a little bit of a gap now on Alonso behind us, and I mean all through the season we have been a faster car than the Alpines. The Aston Martins are right up there. Is someone putting a move, or Verstappen putting a move on Lundgaard, is it, or the other way around maybe? Lundgaard putting a move on Verstappen, it looks like. That's something you never thought you'd see. Although Lundgaard is a good driver, and of course in IndyCar this season as well in real life, if you follow that, which I very much do. Go on, Scotty McLaughlin, winning round 1 of course last weekend. But anyway, focus. We've got a championship to try and win here. As we jump back on board, I really struggle with the change of direction there. But we've got, in the end, a decent exit. As you can see, Alonso sort of getting smaller in the rear vision mirror there. And, of course, both the AVRs are on the medium tyre, which it's kind of slipped me to this point. Obviously, we made the conscious decision to do that. But Gasly qualifying through on the medium. And, well, that may or may not give him a little bit of an advantage as this race progresses. Come around now, we're sort of a little bit in a no man's land, aren't we? Of course, the DRS at the end of this lap, and we are just outside DRS range. We've got a yellow flag behind us, it looks like, and nothing more has come of that. And we are still, we've got
on Leclerc. They've got a serious
Lundgaard, Verstappen is out. Lundgaard, Verstappen, Leclerc. Jesus Christ, what's happened back there? We've got George Russell is out as well. Sainz. It just keeps coming. Ricciardo's out of the session. Norris is out. We've got a safety car. Let's go and have a quick look and see what on earth has happened there. You can see this is from George Russell's point of view, I think. Lundgaard has just dropped it on the curb, and whoa, and then being rear-ended by, I assume, this is Max Verstappen coming around, seeing the track blocked, and just being unable. And this is Ricciardo a little bit further back, and it's just pile up. It's just turned into a little bit of a disaster. So we'll skip ahead now to the end of lap 3 under safety car conditions. We are stopping, and we've got a tyre decision to make.
Alright, well, we have to come in. I'm worried that we've got front wing damage or something because it's auto and it's red. I'm going to take a risk and put on the soft tyres here. What that's going to mean is that, well, I don't have any damage, excellent. We're going to have very, very old tyres at the end, but I think that is still better than being on the hard tyres. So, yeah, well, let's see how this plays out for us.
Yeah, I mean, it is in this shortened race an absolute no-brainer. If there's a safety car, you've got to stop. We're coming around to the restart now. Hamilton to bring us around. So we're about to start lap 6 of 14. So we need our soft tyres to go 8 laps. Now, the wear, I believe, is fast-forwarded or enhanced to sort of match up with the race distance. But, of course, what the race distance can't make up for is, or the game can't make up for, is the time lost in the pits, which is just, as I say, it's a no-brainer in these situations to come in. We've got a little bit wide there. I'm not very good at keeping my tyres warm under the safety car. Now, it looks as though Stroll is got a bit of an issue, I believe Jeff said, as we were coming back to the restart. So he's holding up Perez. Gasly, likewise, is being held up. And, well, we might be able to take advantage of this as Gasly, Perez, and Stroll are all very, very close.
We're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
Go home, Gasly.
So we've got a loss of power. Gasly's done a double overtake.
Hit by Alonso.
And we may have just been hit by Alonso. Yes, we have just been hit by Alonso. If we go and have a look a second here at the damage, and you'll see the floor, the side pods, Alonso's damaged a lot. But we're going down the outside of Stroll, the outside of Perez. Are we going to do a double overtake as well? As we get up the inside there, Perez is still on our inside. Oh, he has hit us now.
For a new strategy option.
And we've also damaged the front wing. So we find ourselves in 5th. The wing is damaged. The floor is damaged. Now, there's nothing we can do about the floor. That is, for this race, terminal, in that it's not being fixed. The front wing, we could come in. And, of course, everybody around us, I believe, still has to stop as well. But as you see there, Perez is in, and I think I saw Stroll jumping in behind him as well. Hamilton's in the pits. I wonder if he picked up some damage, or if it's just one of these weird AI strategies where they come in lap 7. So we are going to skip ahead now to lap 9. And with the damaged car, we are currently 2nd, although Gasly, I believe, has just come into the pit, so we will inherit the lead.
Less than a second separating. Their tyres are 7 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 38.5.
So 7 lap old tyres for Ocon would suggest that he came in when we did on lap 3. So he's going to the end on the mediums, and I'm assuming that his car is not falling to pieces on him. You'll see it's a little bit more worn. I've been trying really, really hard to stay off the curbs to prevent any further damage. The issue is that with the damage, you have less downforce, so you run wider, so you damage the car, so you have less downforce, so you run wider, and it just becomes a bit of a catch-22. So I've been doing my very, very best to sort of limit the damage. I think if it was just the floor or just the wing, it'd be fine.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
But the combination of the two is proving very, very difficult because we sort of lack that initial turn-in bite with the front wing damage, which is minimal, which is not terrible damage, but you do feel it. And then the car is sort of a little bit floaty, it feels, around the corners. So it just feels like we have massive understeer, which, needless to say, is difficult. You can see how early we have to get off the gas there, and Ocon's almost decided to take off our rear wing for us as well, but just about stopped in time. And it's, I mean, particularly that sequence of corners there, it's, again, we go a little bit wide, a little bit of oversteer on acceleration. And yeah, I mean, these sort of medium to high speed corners are just really, really difficult to get the car stopped, turned in, and doing so with any sort of pace. As we see curb 1, curb cam. And I mean, we're on lap 11 here. Gasly is in 4th if you see the tower there. Latifi up there in 5th. Hamilton, Tsunoda. Tsunoda may have just come in the pits, hasn't he? Because Mick Schumacher. Now, Tsunoda was 2nd in this race not that long ago, wasn't he? Tsunoda's currently battling with Mick Schumacher, it looks like. So we've got a Haas in 8th. Guan Yu Zhou in 10th. Mazepin in 11th. There's going to be some strange results here. And look at all the DNFs. Only 15 cars running. And with Perez and Stroll, who had to come in after the battle they had with the AVR boys, bringing up the rear right now. And again, you can see just struggling to get the change of direction there. And with DRS, of course, available, this has put us under massive pressure now to Esteban Ocon. I love that shot. It's one of the best shots in Formula 1, that I think. And of course, now it would just be a big sweeping corner they would go into in real life, not the little Mickey Mouse chicane that we have here. But you can see from that shot, Gasly is catching. Hamilton is now behind Gasly as well. There they are in the background. So before long, it's going to be a 5-way battle for the lead. And you can see how much slower we are there. We'll show Ocon a little bit of curb, as there is just no way he's going around the outside of me there. But that has brought Gasly right into play. Hamilton is not that far back either. And it's just, you know, this is another corner. I just don't have the grip and the downforce to be able to take them at any sort of speed. And yeah,
the car feels so floaty around corners.
Yeah, that's me complaining to Jeff there. It is any corner like this, it just feels like we have no grip at all. It feels like, you know what it feels like actually, is it feels like we're on intermediate tyres in the wet. Like, that's sort of the lesser amount of grip that it feels like we have. And, well, you can see, I mean, it was half a lap ago, Gasly and Hamilton were in the distance. Now they are very much involved in a 5-way battle for the lead. So Ocon and Giovinazzi on for their best results of the season. Surely be a career best for Giovinazzi, I would have thought, sitting up there in 3rd. You'd suspect that's not going to last for too much longer, though. And of course, the bigger picture here, Bottas is down in 8th. So it's excellent news for Gasly. He looks as though if he finishes these next 2.5 laps, he's going to be world champion. And in terms of the constructors, both AVR cars are ahead of both Mercedes. So again, we're looking very, very good to be constructors champions as well, unless something goes horribly, horribly wrong in the next 2.5 laps here. Giovinazzi now back to 5th as Hamilton picks him off as well. And you can see there a little bit further back, and it looks as though there was another car in the background there, which would be Latifi. Tsunoda and Bottas aren't that far away. We go very, very deep. That was me just trying to carry a little bit more speed in there. And of course we are on soft tyres, which are rapidly fading away here as well. Gasly is now all over the back of Esteban Ocon. Is he going to make a move into the final corner? No, it's difficult to overtake there anyway, unless you can somehow get up the inside. And we go now 2 laps to go. It's the closing meters of the season here. And it's looking very good for Gasly. It's looking very good for AVR. And it's looking less good for Esteban Ocon, isn't it? Now, the big question here, of course, is can I clock off with a win at Abu Dhabi, which would be the shock, maybe outside of Monaco and Singapore. Me winning here would be an absolute shock, because I am not good at this track. I don't like this track. But we've got DRS now. You can see Gasly down the outside of Ocon. He should be getting a little bit of a toe off of us as well. And that is Gasly into 2nd, so it's an AVR 1-2, and, well, I don't like how this is looking for me.
Don't do it to me, Pierre.
Oh, we're a lap and a half away from winning in Abu Dhabi. We're not going to give it up easily. Oh, he sweeps in, and I think he's hit the front of us. Have we damaged the other side of the wing now?
Easy. We don't want to see you take each other out.
He started it, Jeff. Sweeping in on the outside. It was a very, very rude. And of course the issue, oh, Hamilton now right up behind us. The issue that we had is that I have massive understeer. I was trying to stay out of his way, but I just didn't have the grip to stay tight to the corner. And if I didn't damage the wing off Gasly, I've certainly done it there. Hamilton now looking down the outside. Have some curb, Lewis.
The bodywork's taken a few
Oh, we
scrapes.
sent him
Try not
into
to make it any
Ocon
worse.
behind. And can Ocon get back up the inside of him? The two of them have
This is your
disappeared.
final lap of the race.
So I'm not sure what's happened there. That's a strange one. Let's have a look. You can see out on the curbs is Hamilton. Ocon up the inside. Oh, and they've hit just locked wheels. Ocon's wing is gone, and they're still locked together. I'm not sure if Hamilton picked up
There's been an
damage.
incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety car right now.
Yeah, well, we've just seen what that incident was. We're giving a track limits warning there, but we've now essentially no front wing, no floor, no side pods.
Any bodywork left on this car, Jeff? Jesus Christ.
I'm not actually sure there is. We've got a rear wing. I can confirm there is a rear wing, but I think that's about it. Bottas is now up to third, just over a second back. And, well, are we going to find ourselves under pressure from him before this lap is done? Gasly taken off. Look at that, 5 seconds in front. And that gives you a rough idea. Now, he's probably a second or so faster than me a lap anyway. But he's certainly not 5 seconds a lap faster if the car is in good condition. So that gives you a rough idea of how much we're struggling with the damage here. We've got Bottas all over us. We're going to try and stick to the inside. We're not going to make this easy for him. He stuck his nose where it doesn't belong and has essentially we've gone too deep though. Is he going to get down the outside? Just got to keep to the apex, not give him an entryway. We've managed to do that. Can we get... Oh, we're going to have to block to the inside here, are we? No, it's okay. Gasly wins the race. Gasly is world champion. Bottas is still trying to get past us. We've hugged the inside, and that is that.
We did it! We did it!
That's it. What a season.
Champione! Champione!
So the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. A show-stopping performance from the three drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
We did it, Pierre! We did it! Oh, yes, 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 yes! We did it! Oh, I just want to hug you, but I can't quite reach. Champions! Champions! So there we go, double champion drivers and constructors, and the biggest shock, Jesus, Mazepin scored a point. Unbelievable. But that was a crazy race, wasn't it? I think Alonso ran up the back of me and that damaged the floor. And then I think Perez, when we were in that battle with when Stroll was holding everybody up, I think Perez may have damaged my front wing. And obviously you could see it was just a struggle to get around any corner. So I'm absolutely delighted with P2 in that one, and maybe a little bit of tough defense there, but we had to keep the Mercedes behind us. I don't think it was anything that was too wrong. And at this point, I don't know what happened at the start there to clear out the McLarens, the Ferraris, and half the field there. But we kind of had... obviously, it turned out we would have been better off making a Q3, starting on the soft, and we could have come in pit, put the mediums on, and we probably would have won the race, to be honest. But anyway, you live and learn on that front. But let's admire these standings. It is Gasly that wins the championship. I get Norris by a point. He DNFs, I come second, and I've got him by a point, which is magnificent. So first and third in the drivers, and in the constructors, in the end, it's 41 points. We are clear of Mercedes, McLaren in third, Red Bull in fourth, and Ferrari daylight back there in fifth, which is where we were last season. So yeah, it's been a magical season. It couldn't have gone any better. Ah, so good. So there we go, we've won the rivalry with Sergio Perez, we've won the Constructors' Championship, and third in the drivers for me, to be honest, absolutely delighted with that. But that will do it for the season. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you hit thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. We will be back next time. It'll be the off-season. if there's any dissenting voice to keep it, he's a world champion. We have to keep him, don't we? We will, of course, pick next season's calendar, next episode, and we'll sort of work on upgrading the factory. If you have any thoughts or what direction you think we should go in, by all means, let me know. And well, we will look to get all of that done next episode before starting the next season. Who knows where it's going to start? Could be Bahrain again. It could be somewhere else. But between now and then, enjoy the fact that Aussie Villain Racing are World Constructors and World Drivers Champion. And I'll see you next time.